Yeah, you've not been here for a while. We were expecting us to continue, but I informed our listeners that you are caught up somewhere and you are dealing with some issues here and there. But I'm happy that today you found time at least to join us in studio this morning.
It's a preacher who said, if you're upstairs, maybe praying or interceding or doing something, and your wife is downstairs there having trouble with kids and chores, stop your prayers first and go down and assist her. That is as godly, even more godly.
Exactly.
All right?
Yes.
So I had just gone downstairs to attend to a matter.
I like that.
It may not be as glorious or public. Martin Luther said, if you preach the gospel in all aspects, except the aspect that is especially relevant in your day, you have not preached the gospel at all.
That is true.
So any preacher now preaching and they don't address corona, they are not preaching.
Yes.
If you preach and you don't address the sexual immorality pervasive in our day, you're not preaching.
Yeah.
You don't address the selfies, the online addiction, the TikTok addiction.
You're not preaching.
You are not.
Okay.
So today we are talking a relevant issue.
Exactly.
About how to prepare your kids for how they choose the careers, how they choose the courses ahead. First of all, not every parent is qualified to advise.
Okay.
Let us start the wrong way. I don't wish to ruin your money, but just because you have a child does not make you a qualified advisor on the future of the child.
Okay.
Start by acknowledging your incompetence. Brahma, so many of us are suffering from the incompetence of our parents, which they did not recognize that this kid is going to university. I know nothing about university. Then they went on to impose their ignorance with authority and ego. Bramwell wanted to do media. They don't know media. They only know CPA. So you find Bramwell, these are just cases. You find people who are doing what they wanted, having studied what they didn't need.
Exactly.
And many of them even took the certificate back to their parents because the parents imposed it. So let's start by this. Acknowledge whether you are competent or you are not to advise where the kid wants to go. How do you know whether you're competent? You can't advise about nothing you don't know. If you have never gone there, say you don't know. It's not a crime not to know. In fact, you will appear more glorious, more parent, more selfless to have educated the kid to a level you've never gone to yourself.
Exactly.
We'll honor you for that. And say that, you know what, that level you're going, you're the person in my family to go. Let me show you other guys who know that better. You know that guy called Brahman? Call him up.
Benjamin, by the way, you just said what some of our parents actually told some of us. And that is why we've reached the levels we've reached.
Yes.
Okay? They are so proud of us.
Yes.
Okay?
And they acknowledge that you are surpassed. My path was different.
Yeah.
Me, I went to business. I wanted this and that. But you guys, in this era, man, have you find a few guys, I'll give you bus fare, you go there. I'll buy you bundles, you chat them. I'll check. So I want you as a parent to acknowledge your limitations. All right? There's another parent I want to warn. The professors.
They're listening to you.
If you are a scholarly parent, you are likely to overestimate your knowledge.
Okay.
You're likely to think you know everything. You may know a lot of degrees and university, but this kid is still a new person to you. I want you to advise them while it's still leaving room for them to put in their ideas. All right? So I've started by saying, as a parent, Bramwell have been to the university, I've been to PhD, but when I get my kid reaching to a level of where they need advice, I'll make it a discussion, not commands. Make it a discussion. Tell them, have you checked this? Have you checked this? What do you think? Make sure what you finally arrive with your child is a consensus. If they contribute to the idea, even if something goes wrong later, they will have the energy to correct. But if you impose it on them and something goes wrong later, they'll just blame you and feel bitter.
Yeah.
They'll feel misled. But if you always left, what do you think about this? Think about it. I found this. What do you think? Okay, so do you think we can go? Okay, let's go with this. They say, I was also in the discussion. Dad, what we decided, I think it has worked for me. No, I think it's not working for me. Can we change to this? Involve. The rules in teaching and parenting say, make sure the child is in front. Don't be in front. This is their journey, not yours. This is their life, not yours. The exploration is theirs. Your work is to stimulate the exploration. Your work is to encourage the struggle. Hey, choosing a career is a struggle.
Yeah, very true.
These children, by the way, are lazy. They want somebody to decide for them. Let me tell you the problem with these kids. Many of them are too dependent. They want something, they want to be given a ready answer. Because deciding involves risks, opportunity risk. You have to give up one to take up the other. And they know every choice they make has consequences, and they fear that. They want somebody else to carry the responsibility of the choices.
Do you blame, should we as parents take that particular blame?
If we have already done it, and in our days of ignorance, God overlooked. Now we can admit and say, let me be forgiven. I think I imposed. Now this is my time to. There's a brother I'm guiding who is also joining university. But we have done the journey with him. But I always make sure I send him on a research journey. We discuss our course. I tell him, go online, check KU, check the courses, check KU CCPS. What have you found? List what caught your interest? Okay, I have a few things I think can work for him, but I want him to be involved. There's this course I check. Can you check that? The current market. I make sure he's involved. So even if you're more knowledgeable in scholarly things, don't make the decision solely. You will have bought blame in your later years to be said you sent me this direction, which I was not even sure about.
And actually, I was telling parents last week on Tuesday that one thing I see in the university, Benjamin, is during the first 3 or 4 months after our girls and boys have joined the university, after orientation, you will realize that most of them spend more time reapplying to their VCs and the deans to seek how they can rejoin other courses.
Exactly.
Because maybe I was picked to pursue medicine.
Exactly.
And I feel I'm not up to the task.
But the family thinks medicine is glorious.
Yes.
So sometimes family can tell you, in our family, we only do engineering or law. You can choose one. I want to ask families not to put their own image ahead of the calling, the fulfillment, the life of the kid. Maybe all of you are engineers, but this guy is the next Churchill.
Yeah.
He's thinking comedy.
Yeah.
Let me differentiate between creativity and laziness.
Some of us think you're creative, but you're just lazy.
Some children are picking some courses, not because they have a gift there, but because they think that course is easy.
Yeah. Very true. I've seen that.
They want to become DJ because they don't think DJ involves a lot of work. They think it's just fun, enjoying a music, and suddenly you're at work.
I want you to use journalism because that is where I've seen this syndrome.
They think it's just about being on TV.
On TV, on radio.
And enjoying.
And unfortunately, I hear this from students. Some of their parents actually told them that indeed, take journalism because it is the easiest. And you see the first few weeks of teaching when you are in the university, you attest to this, Benjamin, that some lecturers actually want to hear from the students, why are you taking a particular course?
Yes.
You see, there is a day I asked that question and I received very funny answers. Why are you taking journalism? Somebody told me, Bram, you know what? This is the only course that my grade could accommodate. That is what I was told.
So they are here out of lack of choices. They did not choose it.
Yeah.
They're saying this by default. I just found myself here, Sama. I'm trying to make it work.
Trying to make it work. So we need to understand that parents have a vital role to guide. And as you've said, parents let children be on the front.
Exactly.
Not us.
This is their journey. Your work is to encourage the exploration, to inject them with courage. And some of them, so let me tell you what we have to deal with. I've told you what parents must not do and what they must do. But now let's come to the kids. Some of these kids are used to decisions being made for them and them being told, okay, so today 10 a.m. you're being taken for shopping, at 12 you're being dropped to school, that person is picking you there. So they're being handed from driver to the worker to the mom and to teacher and to the pastor. They're being handled throughout. They were not involved mainly. This is the first time they've been involved in a decision that will change their lives. So start by giving them a talk that now you are nearing adulthood. Even if they're just doing form, and tell them the school you are choosing. Tell them these decisions will live with them for the rest of your life. The school you go to, you will go into form. attachments that will last you for life. So I want you to start waking up, and I want you to be involved in these decisions. All right? We know better as parents, but this is your life. We must involve you because you live with it, not us. All right?
Yeah.
Democratic way of parenting is the only sustainable way. Don't adopt a theocratic, where you say you are God ordained and nobody should question you. Don't ordain dictatorial. No. Take democratic, where, yes, you have veto power. You can, if you see that they're disappearing, they're doing the wrong things, you can overrule and decide, but you involve their views. All right? So we are saying the first thing, these kids, they're too dependent and they don't trust their own decisions. You teach them that this is their life now and they need to come closer to the steering wheel. All right? Be involved in the decisions. The other thing is, can you condemn laziness in all means and forms? Like oversleeping, overeating, overplaying, over-idling. Many kids just sleep, eat, play, repeat. The cycle. There's a decision in front of them that will affect them for life, but they're not taking it with weight. You ask them to research the courses, they don't research. They tell you, I was busy, I did not find time. They even wake up at 11. At school, they used to wake up at 4. Now they've changed, waking up at 10. You need to realize that naturally human beings have two weaknesses, laziness and negativity. That's ingrained. If left on their own, kids will be lazy and negative. Pessimistic. Doesn't help. This country is corrupt. You're going to find adults who have grown with that pessimism all over in this space. They're saying it's not, even if you make a choice that is count, doesn't count. This country is about, there are kids who might adopt that. And you want to discourage that from the word go. Tell them, if you take charge of your life, you will determine the direction. So let them know that the courses they pick, the choices, the exploration, the research, and Bramwell, only that we don't want to tell them that those who think there's an easy course is a fallacy. All courses, all paths in life involve difficulty. What you need is the path of life that you like the difficulty because you enjoy the challenge. You enjoy. Journalism involves a lot because it's fluid. The world of journalism and the world of electronics have something in similar. They evolve day in, day out. So that people, over 10 years, there's so much shift in the field. If you're in the university 10 years ago, you have already relearned new things other than what your degree taught you. We studied constitutional law and we were told we cannot teach you the constitution because it can change. We are teaching you how, where to interpret the constitution, how to place it, constitutionalism. And true to their word, as soon as we finished it, it changed. You are taught journalism, being told this field is very flexible. It is very fluid. We can't teach you a particular radio because maybe it will be phased out by new electronics, by new gadgets, by new technology. We are teaching you the essence of how to understand people's needs and which information they need and how to engage their emotions and how to take them where they want to go. Even if the equipment are changing, the purpose remains the same. It's the means that is changing. So it's to tell them there's no easy course. All of them, including comedy that looks like just laughter. The comedian is not just about laughter, it's about research. Being a comedian, you have to be sensitive to trends, to problems, and find a way to address awkward topics with a light touch. To talk about what people wouldn't talk about normally and make them laugh and break the ice. Make people feel equal. The job of a journalist is to connect to people, many of them, but speak to them. Speak to their needs. People don't listen because they like radio, they are loyal to it. They listen because you're addressing something relevant to them. You are building their lives, you're adding value. It is that attention that you sell to advertisers. This is a market, this is an economy. So you need to tell your kid that every path is difficult. The other thing you need to be very careful with these kids is they overestimate the next trends. They tell you they want to be an online gamer. So they want to do gaming. And they want to, I've told you, the careers that involve laziness, not creativity, are where it looks like it will be fun all through. That's why they take like the journalism thinking if they're just on radio, gaming, football. And I'm not saying these careers cannot be serious, but I'm saying study whether the kid has any meaningful gift in that direction. The difference is the kid should have come to this by seeing meaningful gift and after explorations. All right. Of course, Bramwell's future children will have lived with a journalist in the house. They will have been exposed to journalism. they will end up, many of them exploring journalism more, and they can end up becoming journalists. We cannot say Bramwell forced them. They were free to go whichever direction. But after studying that and they realized their strengths and the direction, that they took that direction on their own, that's okay. Influence works like that. Influence works about exposure, connection, proximity, close interaction, inside view. That's how influence works. And you can't control that, and you should not control it. Maybe God placed that child in your hands because they needed to go that direction. Maybe God puts them in there because you're a doctor and they needed to go that direction. We also know succession improves quality. Those people pick up from a father who was doing the same thing. They have a heritage. They have a lot of experience to pick up from. They can end up, but it must be their choice. We also know in the same family, other children can go unexpected direction, which has nothing to do with journalism. Many pastors wish their children, but many of them go away from pastoring.
Yeah.
But they're also very godly men.
Talk about teachers, the same.
Exactly. Yeah. Although you can find a patriarch who was a teacher, and that family is full of teachers. As long as the person is a passionate, they love it. That's okay. They ended up seeing how teaching can work, how it changes lives. That's influence, natural influence, not dictatorship. The warning against parents is not to dictate, but to influence.
Yes. And I want us to take a very short commercial break, Benjamin. When we come back, I want us to talk about this thing called influence, Benjamin. Because some parents have set a bad example. You see? So their children have already adopted the bad example they've seen from their parents, and that is why they don't know which career to go to. They don't see the need of going to university, the need of going to college, the need of studying, the need of hard work, because they have tapped that bad spirit from their parents. I want us to talk about that when we come back, my dear listeners. Stay tuned to Radio Mini